Hello everyone, myself Bhautik Trivedi, working as an assistant professor in IT/ICT department of LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. I will explain you the concept of RIP version 2 and OSPF link in Advanced Networking Protocol subject. So all of you know what do you mean by RIP? RIP means what? Routing Information Protocol. All of you already know the concept of RIP version 1. All of you know the concept of RIP message format, different timers in RIP, which kind of problems in RIP, the solution of the RIP, each and everything you know. In today's session, mainly focus on the concept of RIP version 2 and OSPF link. So let's start with the concept of RIP version 2. So here you just see RIP version 2. So RIP version 2 and version 1, what is the difference? So in RIP version 2, it only replaced those fields in version 1 that were filled with the zeros with some new fields. So which kind of updation in RIP version 2? So here you just see mainly three important fields in RIP version 2. First one, that is known as a routing tag. Second one, that is known as a subnet mask. And third one, that is known as a next hop address. Routing tag means what? Routing tag means it carries the information for the autonomous system number. It enables the RIP to receive the information from an exterior routing table. That's why using the concept of routing tag. Second one, subnet mask. Why we use the subnet mask? It carries the subnet mark or prefix. So RIP2 support the classless addressing and CIDR, that is for the subnet mask. And third one, that is known as a next hop address. So next hop address means what? It shows the address of the next hop. So these three new fields for the RIP version 2. How I set in a particular table format, how I set in a particular message format, you just see the diagram. All of you know the field number 1 in RIP, that is command. Command is either used with the request or used with the response. Second one, version. RIP supported the 2 version, either that is the version 1 or that is the version 2. Then after the reserve, then after the family. Family means all of you know that is generally used for the TCP/IP, that is the 2. Here one new field, that is the routing tag. Then after the network address. Then after the all zeros that can be replaced with the subnet mask and next hop address. And last one, that is the distance. So this is the message format for the RIP version 2. Must remember one thing, three important new fields. First one, that is the routing tag. Second one, that is the subnet mask. And third one, that is the next hop address. After that, what is the meaning of authentication and how I put the authentication in RIP message format? So here you just see, first of all, at least you know the concept of the authentication. Authentication means it protects the message against the unauthorized advertisement. So here in authentication, you directly put the family field value is equal to FFFF. In case of the TCP/IP, that supported the value is equal to 2. But here, must remember one thing, the family field is equal to FFFF. So how I put the diagram for the authentication? So you just see, first one, that is the command. Second one, that is the version. Third one, that is the reserve. After that, for the TCP/IP using the 2, but here authentication using the FFFF. Then after the authentication type and authentication data. So this is a one message format. Whenever you applying the authentication in case of RIP, so at that time that supported this particular format for the authentication. Must remember one thing, three important thing. First one, FFFF. Second one, authentication type. And third one, that is the authentication data. After that, how I apply the multicasting with using the concept of RIP. All of you know version 1 of RIP using the concept of broadcasting means it directly send RIP message to every neighbor. So all the router and the host receive the packets. because all of you know in this mainly two options, request for some, request for all. So using the concept of broadcasting, RIP version 2 supported the multicasting. All of you know the multicasting range start from the 224 to 239. So 224.0.0.92. So means you can directly multicast RIP message to only RIP routers in a network. In case of RIP version 1 using the broadcasting, in case of RIP version 2 using the multicasting. So that is the concept regarding the multicasting with using the concept of RIP. After that, how I put the encapsulation in RIP. So RIP message are generally encapsulated in UDP, user datagram. What is the full form of UDP? User datagram protocol. And well-known port for the RIP in UDP, that is the 520, that is the 520, that is generally used for this purpose. After that, so that's all about the concept of the RIP. In today's session, some discussion regarding the OSPF, some introduction about the OSPF and the different link that can be used with the concept of OSPF. So let's start with the concept of OSPF first. What do you mean by OSPF? OSPF means what? Open Shortest Path First. That is under the which category of protocol? Interior routing protocol or exterior routing protocol? So OSPF, that is the interior routing protocol. OSPF generally divides an autonomous system into the different area. What is the meaning of area here? Why we use the area in OSPF? To handle the routing efficiently in a timely manner. That's why the autonomous system is generally divided into the different area. So let's start with this. What do you mean by area? Area means what? A collection of network, host and routers all contained within an autonomous system, that is known as a area. Means each and every autonomous system is divided into the different area, and all network inside an area must be connected. So that's the concept regarding the area. After that, how I pass the information? So router inside the area flooded the area with the routing information. And must remember one thing, each and every area has a special router that is called area border router. So area border router is generally used for this purpose. Why we use the area border router? It summarizes the information about the area and sent it to another area. So that is the concept of the area. And second area means area border router generally pass the information from one area to another area. After that, what is the meaning of backbone here? So among the area inside an autonomous system, one special area that is called the backbone. Backbone, so all of the area inside an autonomous system must be connected to the backbone. So what is the meaning of backbone router here? So router inside the backbone are called the backbone router. And must remember one thing, a backbone router can also be an area border router. So up to this, you know the autonomous system, you know the different area, you know the area border router, you know the backbone router, and must remember one thing, backbone router can also be treated as area border router. So whatever the discussion regarding the autonomous system, regarding the area, so here you just see how I establish the link. If you providing the connection between the backbone and area, so that can be the representation style with using the concept of virtual ring. And each and every area has some identification. So that is known as a area identification. And area identification of the backbone is always 0. Again I repeat, area identification of the backbone is always 0. So let's, whatever the discussion, you just see with using some diagram. So here all of you know autonomous system is generally divided into the different area. each and every area that supported one router, that is known as a area border router. Why we use the area border router? Area border router is generally used for transferring the information from one area to another area. So here I put the different area border router. Another important thing, one, that is the backbone router. So each and every area that supported a backbone and backbone supported a one router, that is known as a backbone router. Means in this particular autonomous system that is divided into the different area, and with using the area border router I can directly transmit the information from one area to another area to another area, like this. So this is the diagram for that. After that, what is the meaning of matrix in OSPF? It assign a cost. So whatever the cost assigned here in OSPF, that is known as a metric for each and every route. So metric can be based on a type of the service, that is known as a TOS. How I measure this? One, minimum delay, and second one, maximum throughput. That is the most important thing. And each and every router can have multiple routing tables. Why? Because that totally based on the type of the service. So after that, the talk about the LSR. LSR means what? Link state routing. Why we use the link state routing? Link state routing is generally used for updating the routing table in a particular area. So each and every router share its knowledge about the neighbor with every router in a area. So based on that, you can directly creating a LSR. So let's start with the three important key points for the LSR. First one, sharing the knowledge about the neighborhood. That is the most important point. Sharing with every another router. That is the second important point. And third one, sharing when there is a change. If any change is there, if any update is there in routing table, you can directly put the updated packet. So that is the concept of the link state routing. After that, how I identify the concept of the link state routing. So with using, all of you know, one topology for the particular structure. So every router should have a whole picture of the internet. Means each and every router calculate the shortest path between itself and each network, and according to that it directly transmitting the information. So here the last point for this particular session, that is the types of the links generally used in a OSPF. Mainly 4 types of link. Again I repeat, what is the meaning of link in OSPF? In OSPF, whatever the connection you establish, that is known as a link. So how many types of link? 4. First one, that is the point to point. Second one, that is the transient. Third one, that is the stop. And fourth one, that is the virtual. So whatever the different link, you just see the diagram, you can directly understood. So 4 types of link: point to point, transient, stop, and virtual. So let's start with the concept of point to point. What is the meaning of point to point link? It connects 2 routers without any another host or any router in between, that is known as a point to point. So example of that, either the telephone line or T line, that is the example. All of you know the concept of graph. If I want to represent the graph, one that is known as a node, second one that is known as a link. So here router that can be represented by node and link is represented by the particular edge. So here you just see point to point. That's very simple diagram. Router, another router, in between you put the point to point link, that is always the bidirectional. Here I assigning the cost, that is the 4. Means if I want to transmit the information from this router to this router, so that directly assigning a cost 4. From this router to this router, assigning a cost 4. So this is the representation of point to point link. Second one, transient link. Transient link means what? A network with several routers attached to it. In a point to point, only one router is connected to the second router. Here network with several routers attached to it, means data can enter through any of the router and data can leave through any of the router. This kind of arrangement, that is known as a transient link. The example for this, that is the local area network, and wide area network, that is the example of that. So here you just see the diagram. Transient link, you just see the diagram. This is the diagram for that transient network. Here you just see two representation, realistic representation and unrealistic representation. What is the difference between that? Realistic representation means one designated router is connected to each and every router, that is the realistic representation. And unrealistic representation means what? Each and every router is connected with each other. So here you just see A is connected with C, A is connected with D, A is connected with B, A is connected with E. So this kind of representation, that is known as a unrealistic representation with using the concept of transient link. So up to this two link, at least you know. First one, that is the point to point. Second one, that is the transient. Third one, stub link. What is the meaning of that? A network that is connected to only one router, means data can enter and leave through only one router. So this kind of arrangement, that is known as a stub link. So here you just see what is the meaning of that. Here you just see stub network means data can enter and leave through router A, and here one designated router and router. So this kind of thing, that is known as a stub link. And the last one, that is very simple, already I discussed the meaning of the virtual link. So when the link between the two routers is broken, so the administrator create a virtual path between them using a longer path and may go through several routers. So that's all about the today's session. In today's session mainly, first one start with the RIP version 2, and then after some talk about the concept of the OSPF link, and mainly 4 links, point to point and stub and virtual and if. So that's all about the today's session. Thank you for watching.